Welcome everyone, it's Sierra Nova here, and today we're going to get into another Let's Talk anime, this time with Gintama. We're going to get into first impressions, dislikes or complaints, and then we're going to wrap things up with turning points. Alright, so as far as first impressions, I really didn't like this anime at first, or rather I found it hard to enjoy it at least initially. Now I'm not sure why I decided to try it again or what made me reconsider my feelings towards the series. I mean, I could have been bored, or maybe I was looking for something to keep me busy for a while. After all, Gintama had a lot of episodes, so I figured anything this long had to be good, right? I mean, after all, look at One Piece. I mean, I know a lot of people joke or complain about how long the series is, but One Piece isn't long for no reason. I mean, obviously something has to be good about it for it to be continuing on this long, and I thought the same thing would apply to Gintama. So anyway, I didn't give up on it. I pushed forward and I tried to change my mindset a bit. I mean, I think this was my first comedy-centered anime, and at the time I was super used to shonen and something a bit more serious and slightly darker with the bits of comedy here and there. So not anything too heavily focused on comedy itself. But once I changed my mindset, I honestly think that the anime was a more pleasant experience for me. Not to mention, this anime actually ended up becoming one of my favorite animes down the road. To be honest, I don't think I have too many complaints about this anime, and I'm not sure if that's a bad thing or a good thing. I guess one thing I could say is that I didn't like the slow start in the beginning, but that could have been completely on me. So I'm not too sure if that even counts as a complaint or not. But if there is someone out there that would say the same thing, or had a similar experience, I would advise you to stick with it. Don't drop it just because you feel like it's a bit slow. I promise you it will pick up and it will be worth every second in the end. Now, I'm not sure about anyone else, but personally I've learned throughout my anime journey to be a little bit more patient when it comes to anime at times. That could mean giving an anime 2 to 3 episodes, or even returning back to an anime to try it with a different mindset. It really depends on the person at the end of the day, but I'd say a good rule of thumb is to try to give an anime at least 3 episodes. Alright, so here we are at turning points. So earlier I said that Gintama, mainly a comedy anime, became one of my favorite animes, and I meant that 100%. One turning point would definitely have to be the fights. Now don't let the lighthearted and comical nature of the show fool you, because when it comes to the fights and the action, the fights are amazing and will have you on the edge of your seat. It's almost like you can feel the raw emotion in the intensity, and once you piss off someone as laid back and easygoing as Gintoki or even Kagura, you're in for a world of hurt and regret, and we've seen that countless times in this series. And I mean, not only in this series, but we've seen it done in anime before, so we all know that the happy-go-lucky types or the laid-back and disinterested types are not the types of characters you want to anger. It's a whole different level of scary. Take Gon from Hunter x Hunter for example. We have always seen a much lighter side of Gon for pretty much the gist of the series. However, there was one thing even a happy-go-lucky Gon couldn't let go, and we all know how that turned out. Arguably one of the best rage moments in anime overall, and maybe Gintoki isn't as extreme as Gon's rage moment was, but it's still pretty intense when he gets angry. Meanwhile, Kagura is a different ballpark and pretty scary herself. Another turning point would have to be the women in the backstories. If I haven't made it quite clear enough, I'm a complete sucker for women being well written. It just absolutely excites me. This may be because I somewhat consider myself an independent woman of sorts, and I just simply enjoy seeing it. Not only that, I feel like it makes the anime better when everyone can hold their own and can contribute. Anyhow, take Kagura for an example. She is a perfect example of a well-written woman as well as a female lead. Not only that, she has quite the backstory, much like everyone else in this series, which is great. It helps with the experience and the journey of enjoying the anime. Now, Kagura belongs to the Yato clan, and I must say they kind of remind me of the Saiyan race because they are insanely strong, but the Yato clan differs from the Saiyan race in clear ways. For example, one way the Yato clan differs from the Saiyan race, the Yato clan can't handle direct sunlight, which is why you'll often see them carry an umbrella with them. Another difference between the two is that the Yato clan doesn't get miraculously stronger after being on the verge of death and then being healed. However, the Yato clan are pretty scary in their own right. What's interesting about Kagura is that she tries to suppress her Yato abilities and fight against their notorious bloodthirsty ways. Her older brother, on the other hand, is quite the opposite and seems to embrace the ways of their clan. As for the third turning point, I would have to say the feels. Now, similar to the fights, the feels don't happen as often, but when the feels do hit, they hit hard. One really good example of this has to do with the Shogun. I remember when we saw the Shogun slowly getting sucked down with Gintoki and his antics, which was always fun to see, seeing as they always had funny encounters together. So when the Shogun was assassinated, it was completely unexpected, and I was surprised that it hit me as hard as it did. I mean, his passing was extremely impactful, and I shamelessly began to shed a few tears. I mean, I think I was outright bawling, to be honest. But anyway, I have a lot of respect for anime that doesn't tend to have too much depth in a series, yet still manages to make it impactful nonetheless. And maybe that's because everyone isn't getting snuffed out, which makes it have more of an impact, or maybe the characters are just written so well that you end up getting attached to them regardless. Either way, I think that this was really good writing, and I love seeing that portrayed in anime. Like, one of the deaths that really hit me the hardest would have to be Jiraiya from Naruto, because I didn't expect it, and I knew just how much that would impact Naruto and how much that would break him. For me personally, I've always thought that it showed good writing when an author is able to get you attached to characters and even make you feel when some of the characters pass away. It also provides a small hint of reality, and I tend to enjoy that. Now, the final turning point would have to be the comedy. This is the main aspect of the series, and I'd say it's done well. They even reference other anime like Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, and even JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I seriously feel like I laughed so much and so hard just from this series alone. I mean, it's never a dull moment, and these characters are always up to something. I mean, I seriously don't even know what's funnier, everyone's antics with Senpachi and even the Shogun, or the way Gintoki continuously dodges Sarutobi, or even the way Tei dodges Kondo. I could go on and on about the things that made this anime funny and enjoyable, but I think it's better if you watch it for yourself and enjoy it that way instead. Anyway, that pretty much sums up my experience with Gintama. If you had any doubts about the series at all, I hope I was able to at least convince you to try an episode or two and decide for yourself if it's worth checking out. Not only is the anime one of my favorites, but I'd even go as far as to say it's the funniest anime I've ever watched, with Saikike coming in second. Anyway, let me know down below what you think about this anime, if you have watched it already, and let me know if you agree or disagree with anything that I said. Thank you for tuning in. Sierra Nova is out.